Oh, wow, did the 49ers just switch up this NFL draft and make it so insane? They just traded up to number 3, and I cannot wait to talk about it with you guys. Mainly because I love, honestly, talking about the 49ers, and because I think they're a competitive team with the Vikings. You know, we obviously got beat by them in the playoffs, but I think overall they're a really well-ran team, and I like talking about them because I think they make a lot of good moves. And honestly, this was a crazy trade to trade up to the number 3 slot in the draft from 12 to 3, giving up 2 first rounders on top of it. I'm going to be telling you guys who I think they should take and what is their really plan. And I kind of want to figure that out, but I've been looking into it. I've been seeing different sources. There's a ton of smoke out there, but this is what I think they're going to do. Anyways, the Niners traded up to number 3, which absolutely changed the draft world, change the NFL world, honestly, in a big blockbuster trade like this. This changes lives. This changes how we view Jimmy Garoppolo. This changes how we view even like a Trey Lance or a Mac Jones. Gives them more value. This is just absolutely insane. That's what we're going to be talking about this. Breaking down the Niners moving up to 3 and really just seeing who the hell they should take at number 3. All right, now obviously, I'm going to assume Trevor Lawrence goes number 1. Jacksonville, don't mess that up. I'm also going to assume Zach Wilson goes number 2. New York Jets, don't mess that up because please, I just want to keep those 2 quarterbacks. I think they're by far the best 2 quarterbacks in this draft. I just think on film, I think on whether it's the pro day, even though pro day shouldn't really matter. Just watching the eye test, looking at their numbers, looking at their releases, looking at how they compose themselves. Listen, they're the 2 best quarterbacks in this draft. Now you get to that weird third spot where San Fran is, and I think you can throw in, a Mac Jones, Trey Lance, and Justin Fields. Those are the 3 I'm going to really be giving you guys pros, cons of each, and who I would take if I was San Fran, knowing their system, knowing Shanahan. I'm not going to throw Kellen Mond in there. I don't think they would take a risk on Kellen Mond. I don't think they would take a risk on Trask. I just don't think they would do that. I think those are the 3 that they are honestly probably all okay with getting unless they have their guy already picked. All right, so I'm going to start off with the one quarterback who I think they're not going to take, and that being Justin Fields. Justin Fields this entire year, everybody kind of said, like, oh, he's number 2 next to Trevor Lawrence, next to T. Laws, who's going to go number 2 overall. And everybody was kind of saying, like, oh, Jacksonville or the Jets will end up with Justin Fields. He has really moved down my draft board on quarterback prospects, mainly because I just don't like the whole – I know this is huge. I don't look into this that much. But just the Ohio State thing is just looming over my head. And then every time I watch him, I just see something I don't like. Justin Fields, he had protection in his entire college career. He was never really pressured. And yes, he had some big time throws in that semifinal versus Clemson where he was just dropping the ball over the top and making some huge plays for them. And he can make good throws. He can make great throws. He can make these incredible throws down the sideline that I know like most quarterbacks can't really make. And he's a good athlete. He can get out of the pocket and escape. He can make people miss even. He can make linebackers, safeties are sometimes even too small to tackle him, where he can fight forward and fall forward for extra yards. Those are the pros. However, the negatives of him, I don't think can translate or be fixed at the next level. He does not read defense as well. And I just don't think Justin Fields, listen, I just don't think he'll fit with Shanahan. I just really do not think Justin Fields will be that guy for Shanahan, mainly because I don't think Shanahan wants to have to deal with that. I think he wants a guy who is an intelligent guy. I'm not saying Fields is an intelligent, but an intelligent football player from what they've seen on film. I just think he's looking in a different direction. I just think Fields, if he's taken at number 3, I will be incredibly shocked. I just don't think Shanahan likes the film. I don't like the film. A lot of smart NFL guys don't like his mechanics, don't like the way he reads the field. I mean, there were many moments this year. I mean, that Ohio State offense, they should have put up a lot more points than they did, and a lot of it was because of Justin Fields leaving points off the board, missing throws, and it would be the stuff you don't see. It would be he has a guy streaking wide open on the right side of the field, but he takes this 7-yard check down to the left, but that receiver is so good since he's a 5-star, makes a move, it's a 25-yard completion. That doesn't happen at the next level. And also with Justin Fields, the windows close very quickly in the NFL. He stares down receivers, which is a problem Trubisky had in college. Couldn't really get rid of it in the NFL. It's just a natural habit. Anyways, I would not take Fields at 3. Moving into who I would take and who I think they will take 2. If I was the San Francisco 49ers, I would take Trey Lance at the number 3 spot. And why I would do this. Listen, Trey Lance, if you take him at 3 and you sit him down and you tell him and you're honest, and this is what I would do with him if I was San Fran. I think they could be really successful if they do end up doing this. You sit him down, you say, hey, listen, Trey, you're going to sit behind Garoppolo until it's your time. We're not going to put a timetable together. It's just like, you're going to sit here. He's our week 1 starter. If he gets hurt or if he gets traded or we need you to step in, you got to be ready. And you just take in information because then he hasn't really had a lot of college snaps and he doesn't have the most film on him. However, he is probably one of the most natural gifted throwers and athletes I have seen on film. I mean, you go look up his YouTube highlights. After this video, you go on YouTube, Trey Lance highlights. You will see absolute just eye-popping talent from him. And if you could get him under Shanahan and his big physical body in a power run scheme, a play-action scheme, I mean, that San Fran team could be dangerous next season and even at the end of this season. And that also allows San Fran, let's just say, since they have a talented enough roster, let's just say they start the year 7-1, 6-2, and Garoppolo's putting up good numbers, they could probably flip Garoppolo for a first, and then you could put in Trey Lance to finish off the end of the season, and then also you have another first-round pick that you already gave up to go get him, and you already got one in return from Philly. That's probably like their holy plan, is that they would just have this all work out together and they would pretty much end up not losing a first-round pick. Do I think that will happen? No. That's obviously a perfect world. The NFL world is crazy. There's injuries. There's everything. If I had to put money on it, Garoppolo would be injured by week 4 anyways. But if I was Shanahan, I was John Lynch, I'm taking Trey Lance at 3. I think Trey Lance is – I think he would also be a great pick because I think it would get people excited in San Fran. It would get the locker room excited. It kind of shows you where you want to go. You know, we want this talent. You know, if you go with a guy like Mac Jones, you're like, oh, you're kind of taking a safe pick. You know what Mac Jones is. But like Trey Lance, we don't know the top potential for Trey Lance. We kind of know where Mac Jones will fall in line in the NFL. We don't know if Trey Lance is a superstar. And that's what they're going to bet on. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. This has been who should the 49ers take at the number 3 spot. I think it's pretty easy. I think we all got T. Law and Zach Wilson going number 2. I do have Trey Lance going number 3. Let's see what happens on draft day, though. Thank you guys so much for watching. Talk to you guys later. See you guys next time. Skol Vikes.